So we're here with Danny Handling, just signed a brand new 2-year contract extension, which obviously the fans are raving about. How do you feel about it, Danny? Are you happy enough to have committed your future to the club for the time being?
Yeah, I don't think it was ever in doubt that I wanted to stay at the club. It was a long process. It wasn't quite straightforward as we probably wanted it to be, but we got there in the end. And I think from both parties, we all wanted it. I wanted to stay. I think the board wanted me to stay. The manager at the time wanted me to stay. I don't know if the gaffer now had anything saying it or whatever, but I'm glad it's all done and I can now concentrate on my football again. Like I said, it's been on for a long time, but it's glad it's done. And now, like I said, it's just there that I can now concentrate on my football side of it and kind of enjoy it.
So you've obviously been here a few years and you've settled in, quite well. Is that an easy contributing factor to the decision to extend the contract?
There was a lot of contributing factors. I think like the fact that I've got a good relationship with the board, the fans, like you said, I got on well with them, and I think we've got a good setup here. It's not just me that said this, but I think if you look far and wide, you're doing well to find a better setup at a part-time level than Edinburgh City. There's a lot to look forward to next season. Obviously, this season's not finished yet. We're still trying to get the playoffs, but looking ahead to next season, we've got the stadium we move into, so that'll be good. Got our own stand and stuff like that. So there's very exciting things happening that gives a chance to supporters that can't make the games just now at Ainsley Park, a chance for them to get to the games on at Meadowbank. So there's a lot of exciting things, obviously, with the partnership and stuff like that all set up. So there's a lot of good things about the club. It's as probably professional as it can be at a part-time level, and I think that's a big draw for players. I think if it's kind of got a similar like the full time, then it's more appealing because players kind of want to be at the highest level possible. I know we're only League Two, but if your team you're playing for has got a professional side to it and it feels like full time, then you're halfway there. Like I said, our aspirations are always to do as well as we can and get up the leagues. Like I said, it hasn't worked out the last couple of seasons, and although we've still got a chance this season, Edinburgh City are always pushing to get up in the league above. So I think there's a lot of things to look forward to, and to be a part of that for the next 2, potentially 3 years, I'm really happy.
And when we put the news out there that you signed the contract extension, obviously it blew up all over Twitter and social media. So you must have a really, really good relationship with the fans, seeing that all the reactions on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and so on.
Yeah, I had a few messages from fans and from far and wide, and it's nice to see. It makes you feel wanted, appreciated at the club. It's one of the things that players maybe sometimes take for granted, how much fans appreciate players and how much the support they give. And I've always been very grateful. They've been brilliant with me since the day I joined. I think the day I joined, I had a lot of messages then, and with the last 2 or 3 contract extensions I've had nothing but messages. So all I want to them, all I want to the club for the time they've gave me at the club so far. It's been good. Nothing but positive from my side. Hopefully I can repay them in some way over the next few years if I haven't already. But like I said before, I've always had that good relationship with them, not just the fans but the board as well. I've always got on well with them, so it's kind of be easy and straightforward for me to get the kind of deals done in terms of wanting to stay here. But like I said, the club's nothing without the fans, and if they support you, then it makes everything easy on the pitch.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with you. But you see, during your time as well, there's been a lot of personnel changes. And you've had the captain's armband this season as well, along with Tappy and Raba's back. And how do you deal with that as an influential player in the team? How do you deal with those transitions? Obviously, going through a good few managers in the past 3 years that you've been at the club.
I think you have to just take it in your stride. I think with the previous manager, Naismith, I think he wanted a group of captains in the change, not just one. So obviously he made Rab club captain, and he chose 4 or 5 of us to be vices, which is fair enough, and I think I had my fair share of it. But you just take it in your stride. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if you've got the armband or not. You still try and lead regardless. So I think even if I don't with the armband, I'm still quite aggressive and quite moody on the pitch. So the boys will tell you that themselves. I've kind of still got that in my locker to go off on one if I don't think it's getting done right. So you just take it in your stride. Like I said, it's an honour to have it. I think anything you put the armband on, you should be proud and you should be honoured to wear it because it's a good achievement. Not many players get that opportunity to be captain of the club. like I said, I was only vice, and I was only doing my job for the manager at the time. If I get it in the future, then I'll be glad to wear it again. But like I said, Rab's the club captain, and we're just there to support him.
And we've had quite a few youngsters come in since January, the likes of Jack Bryden, Anthony McDonald, Cammy Logan. Have you been able to have chats with those young guys and bring them on? I mean, obviously we've had success with Ryan Porteous and Josh Campbell in the past, and other clubs players who've just shone at the club. So have you had a couple of chats with them and past your experience on?
Yeah, not so much chats about what to do and stuff like that, but just trying to help them kind of during the game and during training and try and ease them on. I think they know the opportunity is there for them to get games. And if they do well, it can obviously better them in the future. So they all know what's at stake. They're down here to play games, learn what it's about, and experience what it's like to play the men's side of the game. So they're all good lads. They're all willing to play and are willing to try. And I think that'll stand them in good stead wherever they end up. If it's back at their parent clubs or they end up with a different team, then I think they'll learn from it. It kind of works in their favour. I went on loan when I was young. I went to Berwick. I've been to Rafe. So I learned from the experiences. The Berwick when I was only 18, 17-year-old, and I really enjoyed that. The Rafe, we got relegated, but it's still an experience you go through. There's still positives to take from it. So, like I said, they'll go back to whatever club they go back to, the parent club or a new team, and they'll definitely learn from the experience they've had at Edinburgh City.
And finally, I mean, your journey is going to continue here, at City for a few years now. Do you have any personal goals you've set for yourself that you want to hit while at City for the next few years?
Well, personally, from a midfielder point of view, because I'm trying to attack a midfielder, I try and score as many goals as I can. So always aim for 10 in all competitions. And I think the last few seasons I scored 14, and then this year I've got 8 so far. So I'm kind of on the mark. There's only a few games left, but if I get to 10 before the end of the season, I'll be delighted. That's my short-term goals, but obviously the main goal for us is promotion. So whatever way we do that, it doesn't really bother me. If it means I don't score 10 goals and we go up, then so be it. But from a personal point of view, to get 10 goals per season for a midfielder is good. And hopefully just continue my form, and hopefully one day we get promoted. The club's striving for it. Everything's in place for it to happen. We just need to do it on the pitch. But it's never easy. We're in a tough league. The teams are getting stronger. And then 4 teams like that, they're all strengthening. Stirling, they've all got good players. So it's hard. It's not as easy as it looks to get out of the league. Everyone's competing for the same goal. So if we can keep doing what we're doing and just hanging in there and getting the results, then we should be okay. But it's never going to be easy.
Well, we'll definitely get a boost. The last question last year is how excited are you to get to Meadowbank and have the brand new facility, new stadium, new everything really?
Yeah, it just gives that extra bit to the club. More chance for fans that don't actually get a chance to come to Ainsley Park, just maybe a bit out of their way to actually get to Meadowbank and see the team play. Like I said, just having your own stadium's a big appeal for players. We obviously share at Spartans just now. It's a good facility, good Astro. But like I said, you don't really get proud over it because it's not your stadium. So to have our own stadium, our own changing rooms and stuff like that, it's a big pool, a big attraction for players. So I think all the boys are excited to get playing in there. We kind of hoped it'd happen this season, especially myself personally, because I'm from Haddington. So it's a lot closer for me than it is Ainsley Park. And even when we train at Queensferry, it's a lot closer than that. So it's a big pulling point for me. But like I said, to have your own stadium at any club is a big attraction, a big positive.
Danny, thanks a million for chatting with us, and all the best
no problem, Dave.
On Saturday. And
thanks very much, mate.
Let's hope you get the 10.
I'll try my best. Thanks, mate.
All the best.
See you later.